Hey there, Matt here for Toolbox Talks. This is the 2021 season, so we're going to hit things a little differently. We're probably going to move to one a month, so being that you'll get these the first Monday of the month. In light of the top 10 most common OSHA violations, we're going to try and hit those. We're going to focus on falls first. Falls are the top killer on the top 10 list for OSHA. Today we're talking about setting up ladders and warning line as the first thing we do on a job site. First, let's talk about ladder setup. First, let's find a location with even ground, 10 feet away from power lines and away from doors that are going to knock you off the ladder. When preparing the ladder, attach your rail extensions, set the base against the wall and walk the ladder up. Extend the ladder if necessary until it reaches 3 rungs above the walking surface. Keep the feet flat on the ground. Check the angle of the ladder by standing with your feet touching the bottom of the ladder and reaching out to touch the rung. Once you've got it all set up, stomp on the base to make sure it's stable. It's a good idea to set up a cone next to the ladder with a restricted access sign to prevent others from wandering around on the roof and getting hurt. Secure the base with cone bases to make sure it's not sliding out on you. Use a backpack or a utility rope to bring up your materials or tools to keep your hands free and make sure you have 3 points of contact. Don't climb the ladder using the rungs. Put your hands on the rails so that you can slide them. Never face away from the ladder while climbing. Okay, now that we got to the top of the ladder, the first thing we need to do is secure it with a bungee cord. If the ladder is set up on soft ground, flip the feet over so they dig in. Keep in mind, setting up a ladder is much easier with 2 people than it is with 1. Now that we've got the ladder set up, let's talk about warning line. First, let's tie off to a raptor or improvise an anchor point. Next, let's get cones and bases on the roof and expand the warning lines as more and more crew ascend to the roof. When connecting cones with a warning line, pull the warning line through the middle and over the top. Do it twice for each cone. Make your warning line and cone setup nice, tight, and straight so that it stays between the 34-inch minimum and 39-inch maximum height requirements. An easy and quick way to find the height is to measure the 34-inch and 39-inch height on your body with a tape measure so that you have an easy reference point. Your warning line should have high visibility flags or markers at least every 6 feet. For example, this warning line needs to be replaced. And no, yellow caution or red danger tape cannot be used as a substitute for warning line. Sorry, Junior. If it's windy, 2 cone bases can add extra strength and keep the line nice and tight. It's a good idea to do that right at the corners especially. That's why we have more bases than we have cones. Remember that the warning line system must be a completely closed loop so that workers cannot be able to fall off the roof edge without making contact with the warning line or 39-inch tall parapet wall. Now, parapet walls 39 inches or higher can be used as part of your warning line system. Where the parapet wall drops below 39 inches, you'll need to continue using warning lines and cones. Keep the warning line at least 6 feet away from the leading edge. At the ladder, set up an entry point with a warning line. This can look like any of these different patterns, but typically the simplest method is to use a gate at the ladder made out of warning line with a loop tied in it. Remember to close the gate when you go in and out. So the whole point of a warning line is if I blindfolded you and put you in the middle of the roof, can you find your way to the ladder without falling off the roof? Because if you were blinded by chemicals, that would be important for you to be able to find the ladder without, if somebody forgot to put the gate back up. That would be a problem. Keep an eye out for holes. A hole is anything 2 inches or larger. If I can fit a tennis ball through that hole, it's big enough that it needs to have fall protection. And even though you probably can't fit through a hole the size of a tennis ball, your screwdriver or another tool could very easily fit through there, and we could have a problem with whoever's below inside the building. Weak sections of the roof or skylights that need warning line. Oh, this skylight, that is an actual picture from a fatality. An experienced roofer who knew what he was doing, pulling hose around on the roof and backed up into that skylight and fell through it and died. Just really unfortunate and unnecessary. Skylights are a hole, they need to be protected. If there is a height difference of 19 inches or more between working surfaces, a ladder will need to be set up, or sometimes even 2 ladders. The ladder will need to extend the 3 feet above the higher surface. Thanks. Keep up the good work.